Welcome. It's awesome to have you here. Sophie Chen is joining me today. Welcome, Sophie.
Thank you, Amy. It's nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. I'm really looking forward to just getting to dive into your business journey today as well, and a little bit about you and your background. I know you have a really great story. So for those that are coming across Sophie for the first time, Sophie is an executive coach, a leadership coach, and a career coach. And she works specifically with female executive leaders in the luxury hotel and casino industry. And now you have a really great background in hospitality yourself. You've worked with Fortune 500 companies, and you've worked with some luxury hotel brands like Marriott and Sheraton as well, plus many others. So it's awesome to have you here, Sophie.
Okay, well, thank you for that very nice introduction, Amy. So yes, I spent my entire life in hospitality. Particularly in food and beverage. If I was not in operations, and I mean running, restaurants, cafes, fine dinings, what have you, if I was not running it, I was somehow involved with it via teaching. I was teaching in a hotel school at some point, and then I've had a few positions as the trainer for food and beverage department. So it's always been in hotels. But a big part of my career was in Macau. I spent 14 years there. I was fortunate enough to be the pre-opening team for the largest casino in the world. I'm sure everyone has heard of the Venetian. So I was the trainer for food and beverage. And good Lord, that was one heck of an experience, and I will never forget it. And my last role with them, I was running multi-properties with about 400 team members in food and beverage as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's basically...
You've been a little bit
in
busy.
A nutshell. Yeah.
You've been a little bit busy, and you do have such a plethora of experience in the hospitality space. Mm-hmm. I know that you help your clients with as well. And so I'd love to hear from working in the space and training staff and working on big projects in Macau to then starting your own coaching business and then actually becoming a coach and really helping others in their roles. What was that transition like for you, and why did you decide to do that?
Very good question. I think it was aligned. The stars were aligned, and I'm meant to do this. The reason why I got into coaching is because my coach told me that I should explore this. And, I'm a really good coachy, right? I follow instructions and then I execute. So he noticed something about me. And then he said, you should explore. And I'm like, don't be ridiculous. I've never coached in my life. I'm like, what do you mean, coach? He's like, are you sure you've never coached? And so I pondered on it and I said, oh, you're right. Just because coaching wasn't specified in my job description doesn't mean I didn't do it, right? Yep. So in my career, I have coached, hundreds of people, right? We've done team coachings. And I have to say my team is one of the highest performing ones. Of course they are. So yeah, I've done team coaching and I've done one-on-one with the high performers in my team. And I've been doing it for, the longest time. It's just that it didn't dawn on me that I was doing it. So then he said, maybe you should get yourself certified, formalize it. And I go, oh, okay. So I enrolled myself and I got myself certified in the midst of this terrible pandemic. And then I relocated, I moved countries. And then obviously I'm without a job, right? And I go, okay, so I want to start my business. Great. Now what? Had no idea. And lo and behold, I attended an event and there was a guest speaker. Guess who that guest speaker was? Exactly. And it was, when I say things were aligned in the universe, they were. And you were talking about building your personal brand. Mm-hmm. And I swear, I almost dropped my coffee cup that day. And I'm like, is she talking to me? How did she know I was going to start? And it was just phenomenal, And from that moment on, I'm like, okay, I guess I have to do this. There's no way out. The universe is sending me such an obvious sign. And that's how I got started.
Yeah, I love that. And I think for many of us, myself included, and plenty of other coaches and consultants that I work with, there's quite an emotional journey that happens, I think, at that point as well. And it does kind of take you to have a lot of courage and bravery within yourself to make that leap. So I'd love to hear from you, like, what were some of the things that were going through your mind at that time, you know, way back in the beginning where you'd made that decision, and maybe what were some of the challenges or some of the thoughts that were popping up in your head now that you knew that this was the direction you were heading?
All sorts of thoughts, Amy. I mean, I couldn't. We had a conversation, and that same night I couldn't sleep. I think I told you this. I'm like, I couldn't sleep, and I couldn't figure out why. And now I know. And you know, you said it's a shift, right? You are moving out of your comfort zone. You're going to do something that you've never done before, and it's totally unknown, sort of, to you, and it's normal to feel this uneasy, you know, like, am I going to make it? How am I going to do it? And there's all kinds of questions. And I was definitely all over the place. I didn't know where to start. I want to do this. I didn't know. So yeah, it was a total hot mess. It was a total hot mess. And it took me a while to I still have sleepless nights. I guess that's the thing about being on your own, right? I mean, you don't shut off. You don't, leave your job, switch off your computer, switch off the lights, shut the door and walk out. You don't really walk out. So, and it's still a learning process for me. There's lots of things I can do, but I'm very happy. It's the start is not as bumpy as I thought it was. So yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, it is really normal to feel that kind of apprehension. It's like, you once learned how to drive a car, you once learned how to ride a bike. And so, starting your own business is the same thing. It's a skill that you can learn. But you have to invest in yourself to do that, whether it be time, money, energy, all of those sorts of things, which is great. So thank you for openly sharing that, because I think it does help a lot of people that are listening to this, if they're in a similar position as well. You're not an alien creature. You are definitely normal.
I'm normal.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd love to hear from you, Sophie. Like, as you started to grow, I know you're working with some great clients now. I know that you're so established in your experience as a coach. Like you said, you've been unofficially doing this for a very, very long time now. So how did you make those first couple of steps into actually having your own clients and your own business? And how did that feel for you as you were starting on the start of your journey?
Well, one good thing is I followed your steps. It helped a great deal because it was just so methodical, right? And for me, I'm very methodical. I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But unfortunately, in life and in business, it doesn't go as we plan.
Yeah.
So I was just following the steps and doing my lessons. And I go, once I do this, I'll implement, and then I'll sort of do, you're on your own. So you have to do the sales part, and you have to do the sales conversation, etc. And then, I'll get my client, and I have all these things sort of planned, and I know how this cycle works. But lo and behold, I mean, when I was updating my LinkedIn and, start to engage with people, good things, they interrupt my cycle. Clients were reaching out to me. And I go, but hang on, I'm not there yet. I haven't completed my cycle. And that's just crazy, right? So it's just me. But then it's just amazing how things just kind of fall into place or a little off placement. But, it's when you put yourself out there and start to engage with people, and you connect with such wonderful people on the platform, and people start to notice you, and they look at, like you said, I've got the experience backing me up, and they say they see what I've done, and so they just reach out, and it all starts with just little conversations and like, hey, blah blah, I've done this, I've done that, and we kind of share experiences. And that's how it kind of starts. And not only that, it's also people I know. Ex-colleagues or people I've known in my previous, my previous jobs, and they start to reach out to me. And so that's how that whole, gets rolling. It's still rolling, which is great. So
it's rolling. It's definitely rolling. Like you said, things happened a lot faster for you than you were even really ready for, which is great.
Yes, the momentum is I'm way ahead of schedule. Let's just put it that way. I'm way ahead of schedule. I'm not complaining. I'm very happy, and I'm surprised actually.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And you mentioned LinkedIn there as well. And so was LinkedIn something that you were using before in your career, or was it something that you were sort of stepping into a little bit fresh? And I'd be interested to hear like what some of the lessons that you learned just from LinkedIn, or perhaps some things that you didn't really expect that might help someone else that's listening to this who is maybe new to the platform or looking to use it in their business as well.
Well, I've used it, not a whole lot. I mean, I'm not active. I have it there, and just in case I need to find it. It's like a backup.
Has the profile for years and the login details, and it needs to dust it off again.
There was the dust was about this thick, so I had to go back in and sort of spruce it up. And how it helped me, I thought it was only for job seekers, honestly, but for business owners like us, it's really helpful because there's just first of all, there's so much stuff out there on LinkedIn, stuff as in information, connections, and it's funny how you connect with someone and I kind of go, oh, we went to the same hotel school. Oh my goodness me, when was that? And oh, you work with this person and that person, you were here. And I found a few people who were at the same places as I was, but our paths have never crossed. And that I just go, oh, wow, this is just amazing. And then that's how we connect from there. So I've made a lot of friends through LinkedIn and obviously the clients. And I also like how it can be sort of engaging, right? People put up articles or share their experiences, and it allows you to kind of engage with them and go, oh my goodness, oh, did you go through that same experience? Oh, me too. And it kind of puts that human sort of connection together. It's just not a platform. It's where human beings sort of interact. And that for me, it resonates with me. And I think that's how clients also find me, because they see that I go through the same stuff as they did. We're not special. We share a lot of experiences in life, and we're not all that special. So when people see that, I think it kind of builds that connection and it brings us closer together.
Fantastic. And what's the main sort of transformation that you work on with your clients? So I know a lot of people reach out to you on LinkedIn now. What are they reaching out for? Like, how do you really help your clients?
Okay. So like you mentioned before, I work particularly with ladies in the industry. And how I help them is basically they show up at my doorstep, not physically, but they show up with their suitcases, right? They bring their suitcases, could be Samsonite or Tumi or whatever brand, but in their suitcases, it's filled with all kinds of stuff, stuff they have accumulated in their years of working. Could be their experiences, their knowledge, their self-doubt, their fear, and all these things have been in that suitcase. And what we do is I worked on clients one-on-one, right? And through this one-on-one coaching, basically what I do is I help them unpack. You know how every now and then we got to do spring cleaning? We throw all the stuff that is no longer serving them. And we have a lot of those. So we unpack it, basically break down all the barriers and identify that blockage that they're having from them moving forward. Or finding that little inner voice. Unfortunately, it's the industry that we're in. It's dominated by males, and sometimes until today, we always, take that back seat. We don't grab that chair and sit there. So through our sessions, we work through all these insecurities and that imposter syndrome that we all have. So it's a journey. It's not a one-day thing. That's why we do it through several months. And and I learn from them as well, because they share their experiences with me and I go, oh my, again, we're not alone, we're in this together. So
definitely. And what are some of the results or some of the outcomes that women get having worked with you?
It's amazing when they send me a message and say, look, I did this today and I implemented what we talked about and it worked. I'm like, it did. So it's for me, it's really to see them kind of break through the barrier that's in their head. Usually, it makes me feel like I've achieved something, right? To see someone sort of step out of their comfort zone and seeing them have that confidence again to step out and say, look, I am who I am. I'm authentic. I'm organic, and I'm going to take the world. I'm going to take whatever it's going to be thrown at me. So that confidence, I can see the shift in confidence as well in some of them. And so that makes me very happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so I'd be curious to know, like you're part of the InDemand Coach program, and so I'd be really curious to know what were some of the things that went on for you, I guess, from what you learned in that program and working together that you feel made the biggest difference for you in terms of accelerating your growth. Can you imagine sort of doing this on your own versus being in the program? What are some of the things that were the biggest difference for you?
I don't know. I think if I didn't do the program, I would still be stuck, right? Sitting at my desk every day trying to figure out what to do next.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest thing for me, like I said, it was the whole structure was very methodical, right? You do step one, you implement. You do step two, you implement. But then there are also things in there which you never really thought about, right? The formula, right? So what should I be charging as a coach? How much is too much? How much is not enough? And so you it makes you think how you want to set up your business.
Yeah.
So that for me was a real aha moment. I go, look, the reason why I got into my own business is I don't want to work, 60-hour weeks. I mean, if I want to work 60-hour weeks, I can go back to any old hotel and do that, right?
Yeah.
So I want to shift. And so that kind of made me think, right? So how do you position yourself in the market? Who do you want to be? How are you going to lead with that? And also the little sort of tips with LinkedIn and, what you should do with it, the little algorithms, what they like, what they don't like, and how to kind of stand out in that entire platform. And what I like really is that the tribe.
Yeah.
I look forward to all our Wednesday little meetings.
Yeah.
It's a safe space. It's basically a group of like-minded people who's trying to do what you're doing. So you're not alone, right? You are growing and starting your business with a group of professionals and with you, right? You're always there backing us up. And I really like it when people always ask you questions and you're like, for you, it's like a walk in the park, right? It's like, don't worry about it. It's just do this, and this. And obviously every now and then you throw it back to us and go, well, what would you do? Typical coach question, right? And so I really enjoy that, and it's a safe space for us to sort of explore and try new things, and you fail in that space rather than fail in real life. So that for me was a huge support, knowing that I am not alone in this. And if I ever need help, I can always reach out to you and the tribe, and, I have that support. So
fantastic.
It's one of the biggest decisions, not biggest, but one of the most, how do I say, life-changing decisions that I made. And like I said, if I didn't, I would still be kind of chasing my tail and wasting time.
Yeah. What was one of the reasons that almost said, don't do this? Like, what was the thing that you almost didn't join because of this reason? What was that for you?
I think it was that fear, right? Because once I made that decision to join, then for me, it's like, it's official. Okay, you're starting your own business. And that was that fine line that I wasn't kind of ready to cross. Yeah. I mean, it's like, I'm just signing up for another course, but then it means more than that. It means, right, woman, you're going to jump over that hurdle. You're going to start your own business. It's this way. Are you ready? So that was that trouble. That troubles me a lot. And that's the reason why I couldn't sleep that very same night.
Yeah.
So it's the fear of the unknown. You don't know what's out there. Yeah. But you know what gave me the confidence though, Amy? You said, I got you, Sophie. I got you. Okay, relax. And I I don't know if I've ever told you this, but that kind of meant a lot to me. It calmed my nerves and go, okay, she's there. Okay.
Yeah.
She's not going to let anything happen to me.
Exactly.
So that for me was seriously reassuring. And that kind of gave me that little push to that fence.
Yeah.
So thank you very
much. And now look at where you are. So there you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, you're an absolute pleasure to work with. I love working with you. And I'd be really curious to hear from you as well. Like, where do you want to take your business now that you're up and running, now that you have clients, you're working with some awesome people? Like, where can you see yourself, say, in the next 12 months from now? Where do you want to be?
Oh, hopefully sipping pina colada on a beach somewhere.
Well, I hope I get the invite.
Oh, definitely. Well, obviously, it's just the starting point, right? It's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more out there. And obviously I want to grow and scale and also increase my presence out there. There are a lot more people that I have not reached. And there are a lot more people who probably need what I can offer them. So yeah, just basically getting a bigger presence out there and expand and eventually move into, I'm doing one-on-one coaching at the moment. So I would like to see, I would like to start sort of group coaching.
Yep.
I mean, can you imagine getting all these women into one room? I mean, what a powerhouse that will be, right? Yeah. So that's awesome. That would be something that I would like to work towards. So take it one step at a time. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So, but yeah, ultimately, that's what I want.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Well, I've already got big plans in place for you anyway, Sophie, whether you know them or not.
Oh, really? I'm not aware.
So all in good time, but I think that's fabulous. So I think I will definitely join you, sipping some pina coladas there, and have this group full of executive women that you're leading would just be phenomenal. So I definitely see that a part of your future, whether you're ready for it or not. That's a good next step for you.
Thank you. You always like to stretch me. Yeah, but thank you for doing that. Otherwise, I will not stretch myself. So
no, it's brilliant. And I'd love to hear, like, just knowing what you know now and having kind of been through the journey, like, if there's someone that is in your shoes and they're kind of got that fear going on and they're not really sure what to do, what would be your advice to them in their own business and really making a go of this?
I wouldn't advise them. I would probably have two questions for them.
Yeah.
First question would be, what is holding you back? And the second question would be, if I were to give you a pill of courage, what would you like to do with it?
Spoken like a true executive coach right here.
Yeah, so no, go for it. I mean, don't waste any time. It's proven to work. You've got so much experience and you've helped so many people, and I'm one of them, and I'm sitting here telling you, please don't waste time. Just go and do it, because every day you wait is a day lost in revenue, right? Yeah. And like you always say, if not now, then when? When's a good time? When's the perfect time? There's never a perfect time.
Yeah.
So don't overthink it. Just do it.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. She got you. She got you. Yeah. Don't worry. Yeah. Definitely. Wholeheartedly, I would say, yeah, I'm glad I didn't waste any time myself. So I hope the rest of the people sort of thinking about it, stop thinking and just do it. Yeah. Don't mean to sound like Nike, but yeah, just
we can steal the Nike tagline for this. That's all right. But yeah, I love that, Sophie, and thank you. And it has been just awesome to see how fast you've grown in such a short amount of time. And I know the work that you do with your clients is just so needed in this space as well. And you add so much value to their worlds as well, particularly as we said in the hospitality, the casino space. That is your world. You know it through and through. So if there is someone listening to this who would like to reach out to you and just learn more about the work that you do, where can they go and find you?
Where else? LinkedIn.
Great question.
Where else? Yes. So I'm on LinkedIn. Feel free to drop me a message, or my email is there. So drop me a message and we can just talk, right? I mean, there's no harm talking. And I'm sure we can work together and build some synergies and help you unpack your suitcase.
Yes. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. If you are listening to this, go and connect with Sophie over on LinkedIn. Check out the work that she's doing. She's phenomenal in her space. So it's been a pleasure chatting to you today, Sophie. I really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your insights.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.